Hello. I know many of you are probably wondering what is the circle room? Um, and you can kind of see what it is. It's a ministry for families with children with special needs. But I'm excited to just hopefully, I could get it out there and explain like where this all came from and how long have we been thinking about this and so I'm going to try and do that right now. And one of the first things I want to say is the biggest thing is that I want families with children with special needs to feel welcome, not feel judged. And when I was getting ready to do this video, I've been waiting like for the perfect time. I have gray in my hair right now. I haven't done my hair. I have this really bad cough that kind of gets going as I start talking. But you know what? That's perfect for what I'm trying to accomplish. Because even typical parents, things aren't always perfect. Days are hard. Family stuff gets hard. And so I'm just coming to you as I am, and I'm going to share with you where this circle room all came from. So I think it was 2012, and my husband's good with the years because he's really good about that. So I was just talking to him about the timeline of all this, but he specifically knows that in 2012, a friend of mine and I had just went to a women's retreat. Thank you, Jessica's staff, for these awesome women's retreats where we can get away for a weekend and just hear, God speaking to us and experience the amazingness of His presence over a couple days. And on our way home, we were talking about how wonderful it would be to have this place for women that, they could go to like anytime, that we wouldn't have to have wait for the specific weekend to get away and be refreshed and filled up. And so in 2012, we took our husbands to see a building that we wanted to start this women's retreat just locally so that people could come and enjoy and women could get away and be filled up on a Tuesday morning if they wanted to. And at that time, we didn't know that we were going to be moving away from that location. And so we moved, and it was a time where, she was busy in her professional life. And so we decided maybe that wasn't the time or the season for that. But it always stayed in my mind and my heart of a place for women to get away and retreat without taking a full weekend and just having this place to go and be filled up. And so fast forward, let's see, so 29, 10, 11, 12. So we moved out of that area, only about 30 miles away. And then shortly after that, our fourth child, Mitchell, was diagnosed on the autism spectrum. So he was 3.5. And, we had known that he was a little bit different as far as his communication, but we didn't, but we thought, well, maybe because he's the fourth child, he's just not talking a lot because everyone's talking for him. That's kind of the things that we would hear. Finally went in and it was recommended that I have him checked out. And that was an amazing eye-opener to see the levels at which he was functioning or like a baby. And so from that moment on, everything changed. And I think it's just getting that diagnosis which at first it's like it's just a diagnosis, but it helps you to get help. And so learned a lot through that. But so that was shortly after that. So then I went on a journey with Mitchell and with our family, and how do we do this? And, what do I do for him? So I kind of stopped everything and focused on that. And so then I went, it's been years and years. And so he is 9 now. And through that, we've had to learn how to accept him. We've learned how to, as a family, be super accommodating because of him. And, we've had to alter everything. We can't go to typical places that a normal family with 4 children would go. We can't, nothing's typical. Dinner is not typical. Dinner out. Dinner together at home is not typical. Activities, supporting, our kids with their activities. We can't go all as a family. Everything is different. He's had huge progress over the years, but there's, church is not typical. And so I can get into a lot of detail with that, but I want to get to the main point. So my passion for women has never changed, but now my passion for women with children with special needs has been really brought to the forefront. Like, I look at our situation, and now Mitchell talks and he communicates, and he's a great listener, and his coping skills are amazing. That's kind of what we've been working on for the last 3 years. He's not in school, but we just been home working with him on those things, and so he has grown and he has shown a lot of progress, and that's a whole nother story. But my heart and my passion through those years and through our experience has been that although most people will say it doesn't matter, people won't, judge you for who, just bring him, or just, don't let that bother you. And really, moms and parents and siblings, they still do. Like, it still bothers us. I've showed pictures of Mitchell and his crazy hair because it brings on so much anxiety to cut his hair, and he's come a long way, and it brings on anxiety for me. And so, it's like, I don't want to do it because I have to get to a certain place to want to do his hair, because I do it for him. His teeth. So hygiene is a huge thing. Sometimes people have to worry about serious tantrums because their kids aren't able to function in certain environments. And so risking taking them places, it's a risk, because, like, again, are we going to be able to get through this? Whether it's a movie or a dinner or an activity together as a family. So, church, there's over 80% of families with special needs children that don't attend church. It's pretty sad. And so this passion has kind of been with me for a while. And a couple years ago, I had wanted to move out of Minnesota. I'm from California, and I was having a hard time with the serious cold winters. And Tony had a long, great business in real estate, and so we went on a prayer journey. We started reading Mark Batterson's books, and what an amazing and awesome journey we went on with our faith that got us to decide to sell our home. Loved my home, loved everything about it, but decided to sell our home to be able to make a move. And we started drawing circles around our prayers to get us here to Colorado. And just an amazing process to where my husband's mindset was to being able to, put our house on the market and move all the way to Colorado. That's also another huge story that we would love to share more about. But then I attended a retreat with my girlfriend, Jessica, and she has a large part to do with this. She's been part of this journey with me, knowing what I wanted for a long time. So then her and we started praying circles around the move and what to do and how to do it and if we could do it. And then I went to a retreat with her, and it was draw the circle. It was, if we want to see God do crazy miracles, sometimes we need to pray crazy prayers. And it was from the Draw the Circle Mark Patterson book. And this was what our retreat was on. So super amazing. When I got home, I started getting really intentional about what I wanted to do. And so as we were looking for a place to live, and when we moved, I drew a circle. So Erie is not highlighted, but there's my circle. I do have, I can't even read it, but so there's another piece to the story. And then I started visualizing what I wanted the circle room to look like. So the circle room right now is just a Facebook page. It started out with just a Facebook page so that I could start putting things out there, but really it's actually a place. So this is what I sent Tony. So it was January 2018 about the circle room, a place where everyone is circled in prayer. Mornings for moms. So moms who want to fill their soul sisters. Afternoons for teens. So teens who need a safe place to hang out. Activities, service projects, homework, prayer. Church for special needs, a place to worship God, special needs approved. Roam the room, stand up, sit down, be on stage. Not that we wouldn't want them to learn how to function in a typical church setting. We want that. That's our goal. But to let them kind of find out what is church to them. Is it being on the microphone? Is it being on the drums? Is it being part of that? What is their purpose in the church? So finding that. Childcare. So during the mom's studies or for quiet time, if they're just wanting to get away and have some quiet time, there would be childcare. There would be a quiet room for sensory seekers, so those kids that need things to help with their sensory. There'd be a soaking room for moms, just calm, peaceful, dim lights, music, whatever. Then an activity center is where most of the activities would happen, but throughout different times of the week. So kids could come, kids could come for homework, people could come to do games, women's ministries, meetings, worship, and church. So all these activities, we'd have all Mark's books because that was a huge blessing to us, and that really helped us turn to God in getting to Colorado, because we knew that there was something more here that God had in store for us. And then I ask him if this dream is possible. So I just want to show you what I drew out. There's a couple of different plans. This was the original one. You can probably hardly even see that. And then I wrote on the back, so it's kind of a mess. But
I'm going to have to revise this a little bit, but this is the plan for the circle room. And so it has a huge welcome area and a hospitality like area. It has a sensory room for the kids to be able to go in and enjoy. They could have headphones, they whatever they need to feel comfortable while they're there. That's the place for them. There will be a soaking room, so a place for women to just seek God. Okay, so it could have books for reading. I have a trillion books, so I plan on having some amazing books for them to read. A prayer box for their prayers, whether it be just the smallest, simplest prayer or the most amazing, huge prayer that they're trying to pray circles around. There will be a care room. So if they have typical children that are needing care, they could have someone there to watch them. There will be a coffee, hot chocolate, lemonade bar with fresh fruit, fresh good food, restrooms, and activity center. So this could be for a special needs family church or worship. It is special needs approved. So we're not going to be holding kids back from getting on the microphone. If that's their passion, if that's their goal, then we're going to encourage them to be part of that. We'll have women's ministry events. We'll have speakers come in and speak to the siblings of these families. Because, to be honest, middle school kids have a hard time with this. I know our son has a hard time with mom, the way, Mitchell looks or how he acts or, when he's throwing a fit or if his stomach hurts and he's yelling, he doesn't care who's around him or, there's just a lot of things. And so to have that environment of families that are dealing with the same thing and just to be a community where we all get it and where we don't have to feel judged and we don't have to feel like everybody's watching or like we have to leave because this isn't working out how we thought it would, or he's not behaving how he should. Awareness and acceptance is a huge thing. Like we do need to help people become more aware and we do need to be accepted. It's still hard. It's really hard for these families to walk away feeling that way, truly feeling that way. So this is a place where they will know that all these other families have dealt with something similar. Some worse, some not so much, but still, we're all here to really come alongside each other and just accept each other. It will have marital events. So how does a marriage stay super strong through this journey? How do you come together and because we all have different views about how to raise this child, what to do for this child, how we can support this child, how we connect with this child, how this child affects everyone else, and how that needs to be communicated, and how we can pray for these children and our family, and that this can be good for all these kids in their future, and how this experience might be able to help them be compassionate for these kids. Maybe it's something that they're supposed to do in their future. Who knows? But so we want to have events for marriage, siblings. We want to do educational things like how to prepare them for their future, how to prepare financially now for their future. And then the big thing is respite. I have been compiling a lot of information around moms who need a break. You guys, my situation is actually amazing because my son is good. Like other people can take care of him. He loves to be around his siblings. His siblings are amazing. And so I get a break. I've still been able to go on date night with my husband. There's been a lot of times where I didn't want to leave because I thought I was the only one at the time that really understood him. And some moms have it way worse than I do. Majority of moms, I would say, with kids with special needs probably have it a lot worse than I do. And those are the moms that I want to help. So this is not about really, I've learned about this because of my journey, but I don't want to do this because of me. I want to do this because of the moms that I know that don't have even what I have. I want to offer them a time of respite, a time to get away, whether that is a night at a hotel where she can just chill out in a nice room and have a good night's rest and wake up refreshed, read a book, things like that. So respite is huge. The circle room will be a place of respite, so they could come enjoy the soaking room. That is their time to be there and be alone, and whether it's read or just relax or listen to some calm Christian meditative music, like just calm music, or if they want to meet a friend there. So some moms need social interactions. Some moms just want a quiet place to go and just relax. And so that circle room is going to be all of that. So there is a lot of stuff that I want to do. The one last thing that would probably happen in our circle room is that there might be a place for kids who don't fit into the typical school system, where they could come and have this place, this sensory room, this activity center, all this stuff, and be able to have it a learning environment. So be like a school for these kids that their parents are getting that phone call every day that their kids aren't fitting in. Because, our kids don't fit into the typical environment. So much more to share, but I have someone coming to do our blinds. Yes, we're in the middle of still unpacking and getting stuff for our house. But I would love for you to reach out to me and to hear more. I mean, there's more. And to be part of this, to partner with us and help us create this environment for these families and for these moms. And I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Sorry, it got a little bit long. But yes, please stay connected with us and follow this journey and where we're going. We do have a small space that we are renting in downtown Erie, so that's exciting. And I'll share more about that. We're hosting a VIP event coming up in June. If anyone wants to be a part of that, we would love to have you there to hear more about the plans that are on the way.